Let's face it, when it comes to relationships, the biggest lie you've been told is that women want a man who showers them with attention, compliments, and endless devotion. Guess what? That's not how attraction really works. In fact, women are more attracted to men who seem to care less about them. Yes, you heard it right. The more you pull back, the more they lean in. This isn't just about playing games or manipulation, it's psychology, and it's as old as time. Women tend to chase what they can't easily have. The guy who's constantly available? He's not mysterious, he's predictable, he's needy. But the man who seems like he could walk away at any moment? Now that's the one who sparks their curiosity, desire, and excitement. The truth is, too much interest kills attraction. When you're too eager, you give away your power. You lose the very thing that makes you desirable, the ability to keep her guessing. Still think being overly interested in a woman will win her heart? Think again. In a world filled with endless options, especially with dating apps and social media, women are naturally drawn to men who are harder to get. If you're always chasing her, you make her feel like she's the prize, and well, you're just another guy. Let me be clear, this is not about being rude or disrespectful. It's about understanding that attraction is a two-way street, and sometimes being too invested too soon makes you look desperate. And let's be real, desperation is never attractive. You don't need to jump through hoops to win her over. In fact, the less you do, the more likely she'll start chasing you. So, if you're tired of putting in all the effort only to end up frustrated, it's time to rethink your approach. Because the truth is, women prefer men who aren't interested in them. At least, not right away. Want to know why? Stick around and we'll dive deep into the psychology behind this paradox. 1. The more you chase, the less she wants you. It's a hard pill to swallow, but the more you chase a woman, the less she actually wants you. This isn't about being cruel or playing games, it's about human nature. The reality is, people don't value what comes too easily. And if you're constantly available, texting her non-stop, and bending over backward to meet her needs, you're giving her exactly what she doesn't want: a sense of control and predictability. Here's the brutal truth. Women are attracted to men who seem like they could walk away at any moment. When you chase, you're handing over all your power. You're making it clear that she's the one in control, and once that dynamic is set, it's game over for your chances. Think about it. If you constantly pursue her, what's left for her to work for? Absolutely nothing. You're serving yourself on a silver platter. And unfortunately, it's human nature to undervalue what's easily attained. Let's be clear, this doesn't mean you should be cold or dismissive. The problem arises when your entire focus becomes trying to win her approval. When you're too invested, you make her feel like she's the only one with value, and you come across as desperate. And nothing kills attraction faster than desperation. Women are wired to crave a challenge. They want a man whose time and attention feel earned, not given freely just because she exists. Ever wonder why the bad boy or the guy who barely texts her back always seems to get the girl? It's not because he's better looking, richer, or smarter. It's because he's not chasing her. He's giving her space to wonder, to think, to imagine. He creates a gap, and in that gap, her interest grows. When you chase, you erase that space. You suffocate any potential for attraction. In essence, the more you chase, the more she loses interest. It's a paradox, but it's real. Instead of throwing yourself at her feet, step back. Let her wonder where you are and what you're doing. You'll be surprised at how quickly the dynamic shifts when you stop chasing and start holding your ground. 2. Attention is cheap. Women want what they can't have. In the modern dating world, one brutal truth remains. Attention is cheap, and women want what they can't easily get. If you're constantly showering her with texts, compliments, and praise, it might seem like you're doing everything right. But here's the harsh reality. You're actually lowering your value. Too much attention too soon makes you seem desperate, and desperation is a turnoff. The things we truly value are the things we work for, and that includes relationships. Women are wired to desire a challenge. The guy who's always available, always attentive, always at her beck and call, he doesn't trigger her curiosity or desire. Why? Because she already knows he's invested. There's no mystery, no tension, no reason to chase. On the other hand, the guy who gives just enough attention to keep her guessing, he's the one she'll be thinking about long after the conversation ends. It's not about playing games, it's about understanding how attraction works. Let's take an example from the movie The Notebook. Noah, the male lead, doesn't instantly win Allie over by being overly eager. In fact, she's not interested in him at first. And it's the dynamic of him pulling back and giving her space that builds the attraction. Even after they're together, it's when he steps back and allows her to experience life without him that she realizes how much she wants him. If Noah had clung to her the entire time, he would have seemed like just another guy desperate for attention. Instead, he maintains his confidence and doesn't throw himself at her feet. That's what sparks the deeper attraction. In real life, the same principle applies. If you're flooding her with constant attention, you're not giving her a reason to value it. Attention should be earned, not freely handed out. When you're too generous with your time, you make yourself too easy to attain, and anything easily attained is easily dismissed. If you want her to chase you, pull back. Let her feel what it's like when your attention isn't guaranteed. The less available you are, the more valuable your time and presence become. Mystery trumps availability. Every time. If there's one thing you need to understand about attraction, it's this. Mystery is far more powerful than constant availability. Think about it. What excites people the most? It's not what they already know or what they have easy access to. It's the unknown, the uncertainty, the intrigue of what could be. And when it comes to women, that mystery can be the difference between being just another guy or the one she can't stop thinking about. When you're always available, texting back instantly, answering every call, dropping everything to hang out, you erase any sense of mystery. You become predictable, and predictability kills excitement. Why would she be excited to hear from you when she knows you'll always be there, ready and waiting? On the other hand, when you keep a little bit of yourself hidden, when you're not always available, you spark her curiosity. She starts to wonder, what is he up to? Why hasn't he texted yet? Does he have other options? And that curiosity is where attraction grows. Women are naturally drawn to men who keep them on their toes. When you're too easy to read, you lose that spark. But when she's left guessing, when she's not entirely sure what's going on in your head, that's when she starts to think about you more. It's not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about creating the kind of tension that keeps her interested. You can relate, right? Ever notice how, when someone's just a little bit unavailable, they become more appealing? Maybe it's a friend who's always busy, or someone who seems to have a full life outside of you. It makes you want to be a part of their world because they aren't throwing it all at your feet. The same goes for relationships. Women are no different. They want to feel like they're working to get to know you, not like you're an open book from day one. Remember, mystery doesn't mean being distant or uninterested. It's about keeping parts of yourself back, giving her a reason to invest in figuring you out. Don't be the guy who's always available, always explaining himself, always there. Be the guy who's got his own thing going on. Because when you maintain that sense of mystery, you become more than just an option. You become the one she wants to pursue. 4. Neediness is a repellent. Confidence is a magnet. Here's a harsh reality, gentlemen. Neediness is one of the biggest repellents in the dating game. If you're constantly seeking validation, approval, or reassurance from a woman, you're driving her away faster than you think. And the sad part? Many men don't even realize they're doing it. They think that by being extra attentive or overly accommodating, they're showing their value. But the truth? You're sending the exact opposite message. Women are repelled by neediness. When you're clingy, always checking in, needing constant confirmation that she's into you, you come across as insecure. Insecurity is unattractive. Confidence, on the other hand, is magnetic. A confident man doesn't need to chase or constantly seek attention. He knows his worth, and that's what draws women to him. He doesn't rely on someone else to validate his existence. Here's a little criticism to wake you up. If you find yourself bending over backward to keep her attention, it's time to stop. You need to take a good look at yourself and ask, am I being needy? Because let's be real, if you're constantly worried about what she's thinking, if you're always trying to prove your value to her, you've already lost. Women don't want a man who's dependent on their approval. They want a man who knows who he is and doesn't need to be constantly reassured. If you catch yourself double texting her because she hasn't replied, canceling your own plans to see her, or feeling anxious when she doesn't give you immediate attention, you're being needy. And that energy, it's a huge turnoff. Women want to be around men who are grounded, who don't crumble when they don't get instant validation. Wake up, fellas. If you want to attract women, you need to drop the needy behavior. Focus on yourself, build your confidence, and stop relying on someone else to make you feel good. Confidence comes from within, not from how much attention a woman gives you. When you start to truly believe in yourself, you'll notice that women will naturally gravitate toward you. Why? Because confidence is rare, and when you own it, you stand out from the crowd. Why pulling away makes her chase you? Here's a fact that'll shake up how you think about relationships. Pulling away makes her chase you. It seems counterintuitive, right? You'd think that showing more interest and being more present would win her over, but the reality is often the opposite. When you pull back, it creates a gap, and in that space, attraction grows. It's a psychological trigger that makes her start to wonder why you're not as available, and that's where the chase begins. Let's be clear, pulling away doesn't mean playing childish games or ignoring her to be cruel. It's about regaining your own sense of self and not making her the center of your universe. When you stop prioritizing her every moment, you send a powerful message that you have your own life, goals, and ambitions. Women find that deeply attractive. A man who is too available comes across as having nothing going on. But a man who has other priorities? That's the kind of guy she'll chase because now there's something to work for. Why does this happen? It's simple human psychology. We want what we can't have. When you pull back, she begins to wonder if she's losing your attention. And that uncertainty drives her to pursue you, to win back the validation that she once took for granted. She starts to analyze her feelings, and suddenly, you become more valuable in her eyes. Think about it. When someone's constantly available, there's no sense of urgency, no reason to make an effort. But the moment that availability lessens, it creates a challenge. She has to work for your attention again, and in doing so, her interest increases. Pulling away shifts the dynamic. Instead of you chasing her, she starts chasing you. This doesn't mean you should disappear completely or become distant to the point of disinterest. It's about finding a balance. You need to show her that you're confident, secure, and have your own life outside of her. If she feels like she's your only focus, she'll get bored. But if she feels like there's a part of you she still needs to win over, she'll keep coming back. So if you've been overinvesting, it's time to pull back. Don't be afraid to let her miss you. In fact, giving her that space might be the very thing that makes her start chasing you for a change. At the end of the day, here's the hard truth. Women don't want a man who puts them on a pedestal. They want a man they have to work for. If you keep giving yourself away too easily, you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't be that guy. Pull back, hold your ground, and watch how quickly the dynamic shifts. Do you think I'm wrong? Prove it. Comment your experiences below, and I'll personally reach out to hear your story. Let's have a real conversation, because it's time to wake up and take control of your relationships. Thanks as always for watching, and always remember to keep embracing a stoic approach to life.